Hi, I'm Catherine with the Old Country Porch, and it's that time of year again where crafters have to start thinking about their fall crafts. So today I'm going to show you how to make these cute burlap candy corn banners. Now I'm going to show you how to make these so they turn out good enough that you can sell them if you want to. So the first thing that I do is take a piece of paper to make a template. I want mine to be 7 inches across and 10 inches down, but you can make these as big or as small as you want to. So at the top, I'm just going to mark 3.5. And then I'll mark 10 inches. Then just cut it out and you will have a template. Then you can take your burlap and cut out around your template. And if you need to make a lot of these because you're making them to resell them, or you're using them to decorate a big event where you need a lot of these flags cut out, you can cut the burlap in layers using a rotary cutter. It makes this process go really fast. If you're just making 1 or 2 banners, you can get by with using scissors to cut them. For this banner, I am using 6 of these flags. You can make yours as big or small as you want to by using more or less flags. Next, I use a big piece of freezer paper. And I take my template again. I'm going to put my template on my freezer paper at an angle because it's going to be easier for me to paint at this angle. But you can put it at any angle you want to. Then I'm taking my ruler and a Sharpie marker, and I can see where my template is, and I'm going to make a line that is longer than my template. And I'm going to do that on all 3 sides. So now I'm going to put the lines in for the colors. And you can size these lines however you want to. So now when you put your burlap down, you have guidelines for your colors. Next, you'll need 3 colors of craft paint. I am using a yellow, orange, and an antique white. And I'm going to be applying them with these little sponge brushes. Since I have this nice big piece of freezer paper, I'm just going to be putting my paint directly on the paper. You want to blot off quite a bit of the paint. You don't want it very thick because it will clog up all the little openings on the burlap. And then you just lightly blot it onto the burlap. And your lines don't have to be perfect because they're going to blend in with the colors next to them. But with the guidelines, you know exactly where your paint is supposed to stop. I'm going to do the white at the bottom next to give this a little bit of a chance to dry before I start putting on the orange. And you want to make sure to get your edges really good with the paint because that's what's going to stop your burlap from fraying. So when you're doing the orange, you just want to overlap the color just a little bit with the other 2 colors so that it blends in really nice. And I like to use a pencil to hold this still while I'm finishing it so that I don't get paint on my hands. So you want to set this one aside to dry and paint the rest of yours. So now that you have all of your triangles painted, you want to get some thick jute cord you want to have extra on each end. So I'm going to put 3 feet on each end because you can always cut it down, but you can't add to it. And I'm just going to stick a pin in it so that I know where to start sewing. So now you can take these over to the sewing machine. This is the sewing machine that I'm using, and I'm setting it on number 4, which is a zigzag. And these are the settings that I'm using for this machine. I'm going to sew this on with the zigzag stitch. The beginning and end of each one I'm going to back stitch so that this doesn't unravel. You want the same amount of space in between each one, so I will just pick a spot on my sewing machine. So if this one ends here, I'm going to start the next one here, and that way I don't have to measure each time, and I know that each one is going to be spaced correctly. And you're going to keep doing that until you get everything sewn in. So now I take my end string and I match it up to my first string. So I know how long to cut it. Then I go through and I trim all of the little extra pieces of thread. The next thing I'm going to do to make sure that this string never unravels is to put a little bit of glue on it. I'm just using a craft glue that's going to dry clear. And I'm just going to dab it on the string so that will hold it in place and it's never going to unravel. So the very last step is I'm going to take a little bit of yellow paint and dab over the front of that thread so that you can't see it. But that will also lock down the edges to make sure that they won't unravel. So that's how I make my burlap candy cane banners. And these are really easy to store. You just fold it like this and store it flat. And if you're selling them, they're also easy to ship this way. If you like this video and want to see more like it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.